about that episode. When we were shooting it, we thought, is this going to work? Like, it could just be such a disaster. But it ended up being one of the
few episodes we all hung out too.
Yeah, we were all together all day. It was great.
Thank you. Great question.
Hi, I just wanted to say that one, Lost Girl really helped me out in figuring out who I was and being bi and being open with saying that. So thank you very much for giving me what scene do you think best defines who your characters are morally? Because I think they're both characters that deal with a lot of complex issues and have to deal with a bunch of crazy sort of circumstances, but what do you think best defines, what scene best defines who Bo is and who Lauren is?
Well, first, I really like your bow-like attire.
Thank you, that was
I don't know, I remember, it seems a little trite, but I think when Bo and Lauren got to that place of understanding that Bo needed more than Lauren could give her, and there was sort of the attempt at, there was Lauren's attempt at sort of saying, okay, like you need to go out and do your thing, so to speak. I think that was sort of indicative of the fact that it wasn't, she was trying to not make it about herself. She was trying to sort of give more than she needed to, because Lauren didn't want that at all. I think Lauren would have happily had it that her and Bo ran off into the woods. All good relationships end up in the woods. But anyway, I think that put that on your next T-shirt. You're welcome. I think that was her trying to be that. Anyway, your turn.
Oh, okay. I don't know. It's hard for me to remember. There's probably several scenes, but I think of the finale and I think of the sort of last standoff with my father, because the whole journey for Bo was, it started where she had this power that was such a source of shame for her and turned into her greatest strength. And at the end, she had to reach down and pull that up to be able to fight the greatest evil that was coming at her. And she had to be brave enough to face her fear, like walk straight into it, and deal with it. And she did. So I feel like that scene kind of encapsulates her whole arc. That's what comes to mind for me.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. I'm trying not to touch, but I gotta work at a booth later.
Okay.
So kind of just to go off what, yeah, exactly. Kind of to go off what she said. I'm mixed race and I'm queer bi, and watching Lost Girl was very much like, oh shit, like I related to both so much. It was like, yeah, it was great watching you go through like shit on the line, dark light, finding that balance between all the worlds that you were really resonated with me. And so I thank you guys so much for that. Okay. You're on Dark Matter. I fucking love that shit. Sorry. Sorry about that.
Never heard that word in my life. I don't know what it means.
I love Dark Matter so much.
Thank you very much.
Anna, when are you going to be on Dark Matter?
How could I Android? How am I looking Android? And I don't know. But it would be very cool.
Yeah, because I would love to see you in at least, some, in some scope on Dark Matter, since Kristen's now, doing guest on Dark Matter. I think it'd be so cool. You guys are working with the same little conglomerate.
It have to be the right roles. It have to be something that really made sense and not just sort of that you just came on to come on. It would
have to be something that brought the strength of history. Thank you.
I'm a really big fan, you guys. I discovered Lost Girl basically by accident because I was searching through Netflix and I was like, oh, I should watch this way back, and fell in love and watched the whole thing. And so yeah, I'm really honored to be speaking to you right now. But I wanted to know, I think Lost Girl is kind of like one of a kind because there's not a lot of like sci-fi and fantasy shows that are at all like it, especially with like queer characters where that's not the most important thing about them. But I just want to know, like, maybe what are some of your other faves regarding sci-fi and fantasy shows? And like, if you could be on any sci-fi and fantasy show, what would you want? Which show would you want to be in?
Dark matter. You know, to be totally honest, I'm very behind on television. I'm gonna think of something. I watch a lot of Octonauts right now because my son loves Octonauts. I could be on that show. That would be amazing. Captain Barnacles and Professor Inkling, and that'd be great. I don't know. I don't have. I don't know.
I used to like Torchwood when it was on. It's great.
Yeah. I'm watching Blacklist right now. That's pretty awesome. I don't know.
So, any non-like sci-fi related show?
Octonauts. It's really a good show. They have a creature report at the end. I mean, I love any show. I like shows right now that have a lot of energy in them and have a lot of high energy drama, action. I've always been drawn to those shows. And
What's the one with Claire Danes? Home.
Oh yeah,
That's a good show.
that would be cool.
That's my 2 cents.
Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Thank you.
You break your lines. It's another scene question, sorry, I'm making you.
It's okay.
I was wondering if there was a scene that you would like to do over again, either because you didn't think that you nailed it, or because you had so much fun, or you know, a lot of emotions that you just really like to have another take.
I really like the episode where you and I were running through that. It was early on. It was season 1 snake. Yeah, we were trying to stab the snake.
That was a fun scene. We kind of bonded up that night. That was kind of the beginning of, we had those heels on, we were running across that metal floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing was like this weird thing that they had made.
The snake moving around.
It was terrifying. We didn't actually know where it was going to pop up, so I literally was like,
that would be fun to do again.
Yeah, that would be
a good one to do again.
And cold soup was fun.
Cold soup was fun.
Just watching Ksenia spray perfume into her mouth.
Yeah, that was very funny. That was the same episode.
Oh, yeah. So I like that one.
That episode.
Yeah. Is it the same episode? Right.
I know I've told this story at a panel before, but it was the same episode where we were rehearsing and we did a tape and you were taking her pulse and the stethoscope was around your neck.
All right.
Which I always thought was very funny. So yeah, I want to do that episode again too.
Yeah.
Laughs.
Was it you that noticed that?
Yeah.
So like it would have aired had you not noticed
I was laughing through the whole thing.
Oh.
I mean, we had to cut. Thank you.
Hi. Okay. So over the course of the series, Lost Girl went from being more like mystery of the week to more mythology. There was also like, and in this transition, there was also a change in field. And so I was wondering if you would be able to describe how you would categorize, I guess, the different fields as for us.
I feel like that's a project.
A project?
Yeah, like to categorize.
Oh, to categorize.
When you
Okay. So Rolodex is what I had out here.
microfiche, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, microfiche. I love microfiche. Well, I think, our original pilot aired as episode 8. makeup look, everything was different on that. And yeah, it was very dark.
Yeah.
And I think when it went to series, they wanted to make sure there was a little more humor in it. And they wanted to have a case of the week feel as well. You know, a lot of networks want that in a show. They want anyone to be able to join in at any time and be able to have a satisfying episode. And I think it was a clever way to introduce Bo to the world of the Fae, meeting different Fae every week. But I think as the show went on, it was smart to kind of serialize it a little bit more because a case of the week would get a little bit predictable after a while. And really what people are interested in is the relationships on the show, more so than the creature of the week, although that's interesting too. So I think that evolution was actually very smart.
Remember Mop Guy? Remember the big mop that attacked you?
Oh, like Cookie Monster?
Yeah, Cookie Monster.
That was Alan. He had a name.
The actor's name was Alan, or the giant mop was Alan? The actor's name was Alan. I never met
Alan
Alan.
was really tired that day because he kept falling asleep in costume.
Well, I'm sure he was 45 pounds.
Like, they propped up like this and they lift them off and be like, Alan was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I was watching it on the monitor. And you and I are having like a Skype chat of some sort.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this giant woolly mammoth attacked you.
Yeah.
And I had to try and...
That was unfortunate.
I was like, whoa, there's a... I don't know what that is, but it's coming at you and it's coming.
That episode was pretty, yeah, it was the camp counselor one. Yeah.
It was a ghillie suit, I think, that I kind of Googled it afterwards, and I was like, what is this thing? It's a ghillie suit for, I guess, like snipers and stuff, or hunters, and they wear that. So,
You know, I think that suit was meant to be seen in pieces, not as a whole guy, so we kind of let down, kind of go out there flailing, but I do remember it fondly.
I had to be really serious.
You did.
Yeah.
Me too.
That's the best acting I've ever done. Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Hello, since you brought it up a couple times, now I'm kind of curious, did you steal anything from set?
You deal? I mean,
Or liberate anything from set, if that sounds better? Borrow without returning?
I was generously given a lot of stuff. I have a lot of black bow clothes in my wardrobe. I have my leg dagger, which I love. A lot of kimonos, which I do wear. One has a little hole in the back because it was actually the Stunt Girls one. There was a wire.
Awesome.
What else did I take? Or give. See you guys later.
I just took the necklace.
Oh, you did?
The first necklace. Yeah. Yeah. It's the only thing I wanted. I mean, no, I just mean like you know, what would I have done with the first thing, all of that? Yeah. Yeah, like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, for me, my wardrobe is tailored for me, and so it was like so nice to have all this like jackets that were tailored, and I'm very lucky that I got to keep them.
you still wear them?
Well, I live in Southern California, so that's too nice, but for the tiny bit of time that I can wear them, I'm really prancing around in my bow attire.
what does it look like when you prance?
Right now, should we sit down right now? I don't know, sachet, prance, I don't know, I'll figure it out. You can prance if you want to, you can leave your friends behind if you want. If your friends don't prance. Lots of friends don't prance, and if they don't prance, well,
I don't prance.
All right, so Lost Girl was a pretty wild ride, I'd say, like as far as the show goes. Which plot twists from the show stood out to you, were your favorite, or you just totally didn't see coming, and were whoa, this is interesting.
Certainly when people started, like when Hale died.
Oh,
That was tough. That was as hard for us as it was for you guys. Like, we didn't know, and then we knew. That's generally how it is. But yeah, it was tough. The read-through was hard. Because of course we do a read-through before we shoot every episode. Same with Trick.
Yeah.
It was tough. We did that read-through, and we got to that part.
But both of them brought so much to their final episodes. I mean, it was just such a sad goodbye, but powerful. I mean, and when Tamsin died too in the last episode.
I made it. Anyway, sorry, go on. Power story.
Rub it in at all, right?
Yeah, important. Sorry.
Yeah. There's just something poetic in the deaths that we had on our show. I think, speaking as someone who was still alive.
Yeah. You can say that when you're alive.
Like an in memoriam section of Lost Girl, we put it up on the screen.
Hi, I would love to hear behind the scenes stories. Do you have any from either rap day or favorite memory?
Very last day. We shot until time forever. Forever. No, but it was like, I remember getting home and it was like 4:30 in the morning or something.
Oh yeah,
It was really late.
it was very late.
And
It was past your bedtime.
it was very tight. It was,
No, she wasn't.
it was one of the hardest days I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, the scene with my father, the battle, that was the last day. Us on the car was the last day.
The very last scene we shot was the very last scene of the show.
Yeah, which was really special that
They
they
kept that true to the shooting schedule, but it was the last scene we shot. It was the last scene we guys saw.
Yeah, and I could not rehearse because I was crying.
Oh, it was unbelievable. Like, truly, we all were just, we were very emotional that day.
And I think, because I'm a big, when I laugh, I can't stop laughing. When I cry, I can't stop crying. So, to get through that last take, I really just had to remember the legacy that I wanted to leave and remember and feel all the warmth from the whole cast and crew and power through to get it done because I would have been otherwise.
Yeah.
But it was such a great journey for us. And I feel like, Zoe said something to me. I remember the beginning of season 5, and she was like, I'm one of those people who can recognize what a special place I'm in when I'm there. And now I'll start crying. No, I won't. You can cry, it's all right. And that resonated with me. It really resonated with me, and I thought I want to be a person like that too. So I copied Zoe, and I decided that I was going to recognize where I was when I was there, and so I managed to do that, and we really brought that to the last day.
Yeah, and I should say, it's something I keep trying to remind myself of. I think that we often, as people in general, have a tendency to kind of look back on something and remember how great it was, and I think it's such a gift if you're able, and I'm not always able, but I try to sort of notice when it's happening. Because
Yes, and when you do that, you have such a more rich experience, and when you look back on it, with such strength instead of any kind of regret or desire to be there again. I am so proud of the last chapter of that and how we closed the book on the show that I walked away very strong, full of great memories rather than, any regret. So that's a good lesson for life, I think.